All right, so this is Scream 7. It's directed by Kevin Williamson. It just came out. I did not like Scream 5 or 6. I actually haven't liked these movies since Scream 3, really. But I gave negative reviews to Scream 5 and 6. There was some pushback, though. So I was like, okay, I guess people still like this. I think it's stale. I think it's played out. I think it's over. But people still like this. But I was seeing that people, even some of the people who like or who liked the other ones, I saw some people popping up that were not too happy with this one. So I was like, okay, well, this one is just worse. Like it's just that bad. And after seeing it this morning, this is definitely the worst one. As somebody who didn't already like the later Scream movies, this one for me was like, wow, you guys really don't care. So in this, we have Sydney Prescott, or Sydney Evans now, played by Neve Campbell again. She's living in Pine Grove with her family. Her and her daughter are having issues. Her daughter is Tatum, played by Isabel May. They're having issues because the daughter believes that Sydney is too overprotective and not trusting of people, including her boyfriend. So they're having issues. But obviously, Ghostface shows up, starts killing again. But this time, Sydney's getting these calls and things, and it seems to be Stu Macher. Maybe it's AI, maybe something, but somebody is potentially pretending to be him, or he's actually been alive this whole time. And so her and also Gail Weathers, played by Courtney Cox again, they're really looking into it, trying to see like, okay, well maybe it actually is him, and maybe he didn't die all those years ago. And if he is alive, where's he been? So I'm gonna have a lot of negatives here, and I'm going to spoil the reveal because it is atrocious. It's easily the worst one of any of these movies. But let's start off with positive. So the opening of the movie, you have this couple, they're coming to this house. It's the Stu Macher house. He said it was identical, so maybe it's not actually the house. Maybe it's a house that's made up to look like it. It's got this nostalgia thing going on. It's got like a ghost face animatronic that looks around, and it's has like a motion sensor and all that. He's really getting into the nostalgia for it. That's the thing. It's really starting to look weird when you have so many people so nostalgic and so obsessed and excited about real deaths, real murders, some of which these people were murdered viciously. And it's like it gets to the point where it's like, what world is this? But I liked it because I was like, okay, this Ghostface in the opening, this motherfucker don't play. I mean, it was vicious. It was like hard to watch towards the end of that opening. I was like, God damn. And I do like the kills. None of them reached the high of that opening going forward. So it it kind of peaks early, but the kills are still enjoyable. They're obvious. I mean, the most obvious setups for kills. All right, one of the characters is in the play and is up in this harness that like goes up in the air, and it's like as soon as I saw that, I was like, she's gonna get stuck in the air and get killed. And of course, that's I mean, it's so predictable when a character is gonna die in this. You know when it's gonna happen, you know how, you know what characters are gonna die. But whatever, the kills are still enjoyable. And as much as I've complained about the twins, I do think they actually give the best performances in this because everybody, I mean, across the board for the most part, is bad in this. Right? And we'll get to that a little bit more. But the twins, unlike everybody else, obviously they're related to Randy and they come in to basically do what Randy did, talk about the rules and everything. They do that again. But they were actually natural in it. They actually give their lines in a way that makes it seem like a real conversation, unlike everybody else. So I'll give them some credit. They've really grown on me. I remember complaining about them in with the Scream 5 or Scream 2022. I remember complaining about them being like, what are they doing here? They're just here just to do the Randy stuff, the rules stuff. It's so heavy handed, stuff like that. It's not as heavy handed anymore with the rules and stuff. They just kind of get it out and then move on. And, they've kinda grown on me, right? They should have died. They should have been dead, especially the brother, but whatever. Starting off, we're doing something that I really didn't like, and it really made me not like the daughter. So, after all that Sydney's been through, and they did this with they've done this with other horror movies where lead characters come back or whatever. Like, they did this in the last movie with, Sam and Tara, where Tara's like, "Oh, you're overprotective." She said that to Sam after what they went through in the 5th movie. I didn't like that then, and I really don't like it here. They also did a similar thing with like the Halloween movies with Laurie Strode, with the latest ones. But with this, it's like it's been so many movies where this woman has almost died. Not only that, had people around her that she's close to die, and then also have had people around her turn out to be the one trying to kill her, or one of the ones trying to kill her. So it's like, yeah, she's overprotective of her family and her daughter. Yeah, she's not trusting of strangers because any number of them could be the new Ghostface. This is completely understandable. But for whatever reason, the daughter has issues with her, and they're having these forced arguments about it. It's just so forced, and it really makes the daughter unlikable. It really does. It's like because it gets to the point where even one of her friends, one of the daughter's friends, is like, if there's any mother that has the justification to be crazy, it's yours after all she's been through. And it's like, okay, you're even pointing it out. So, it's just you want to have conflict with these two, and so this is just what you went with. It's so forced. Also, we want to give the daughter this forced arc. So her whole thing is that she feels like she's not like her mom, and she wants to be more of a fighter like her mom. Her mom's the final girl, takes on Ghostface, and she doesn't feel like she can measure up to that. Feels like she doesn't have that same fire in her. And the way that gets set up is by her being on stage for a play, um, I believe for the school, and and she's wearing a fursuit, and she's supposed to be, I guess, a dog in the play, and so she messes it up, and the guy who's in charge of the play or whatever, you suspect him for, I don't know, a scene maybe. He really isn't a character. You forget about him. He tells her, he's like, "Oh, I thought you had fire in you. Where's that fire in you? You're the daughter of Sidney Prescott." And even one of her friends walks up and goes, "You're a dog. You have one line. It's rough." It's like, okay, this is ridiculous and forced. And just because you're pointing it out in the dialogue with one of the characters, that don't make it any better. Since we're on the characters, I mean, I've been complaining about this for a while, but these characters, they're not characters. They're like, they might as well be mannequins or cardboard cutouts with lines. Like, they might as well be. I mean, they're there to be suspected and I was like, "Oh, maybe they're the one doing this or one of the people doing this, or to die, or to be suspected until they die." I mean, that's just it. But this more so than any of the other ones, I did not give a shit who was doing it. I didn't care at all. I never really was like, "Oh, well, maybe this way." Like, no. There's one character where I was like, "Okay, you're doing this whole Stu Macher thing, whatever." It, this character potentially is definitely one of the people because he would have to be involved. So there's one character I did suspect, but other than that, I was like, I don't really care, and these characters are nothing. They're really really nothing. They're supposed to be high school kids. None of them look like high school kids. I think the actress that played the daughter, she's like 24, and she looks it. But the boyfriend of the daughter, that dude looks like he's like 30. That motherfucker looks like he might have kids already. So that was throwing me off. But like I was like, man, I don't care about these kids. One of the friends, which the friends are nothing, but one of the friends at one point was like, "I don't have a motive." And it's like, "Yeah, because you don't have a character." Like, so yeah, you don't have a motive. There's no reason to suspect you because you have like nothing going on. We barely know your background. So it's like, come on, like at least get me invested in finding out who's doing it or figuring it out, being like, okay, maybe it's this person, this person. That hasn't been the case for a long time for me. I don't care. This whole ridiculous thing with Stu Macher is like it's almost like they saw that people were speculating that Stu Macher was actually alive and was gonna be the villain in this movie, so they decided to involve it. But it's like, it's like potentially dumb AI stuff throughout the movie where he's calling, he's like, "I'm coming after you," and, "Oh, I know where your daughter is," and all this other stuff, and it's so ridiculous and so forced. And I was like, "Man, Matthew Lillard, like, really? You just have no self-respect, right? Like, you're in those shitty Five Nights at Freddy's movies, and also you're doing this and this movie and for the Scream movies." It's like, "Come on, man, you're better than this." But man, this movie it's so badly written, and they know it's badly written. They point out that it doesn't make sense for it to be Stu Macher, that he's dead, and yet they're still going along with it. It's like, well, why even involve it And the movie is written so badly with that stuff and the overall plot, but it's the dialogue. The dialogue is so bad, and the delivering of the dialogue is so bad too. I think it's a mixture of the direction and the writing because these conversations, pretty much almost all of them, like I said, the twins are an exception. Just about all of them though, they're all really stiff. They're all really stiff and odd the way characters give dialogue. It's like the actors are giving these lines with no direction. That's what it feels like. It feels like, okay, the dialogue's already bad, but we can do some more takes and get a better take than the one we went with. Because, man, they didn't feel like actual conversations. They didn't feel natural or anything. It's just like, you guys are just giving lines. It's like, come on, these lines are so bad. The lines between her and her daughter, the lines between it's just whatever. There's a conversation she's having in the bed early on with her husband about when they lost their virginities. It's like that was a badly written, like, kinda cringy conversation. It's just like, the way characters talk to each other, they're characters in a movie. I don't feel like this is a real conversation between human beings. Let's go to spoilers. I can't do this review justice. I can't really go into what's so bad about this movie without talking about this shitty ass reveal. So there was a earlier Ghostface that gets into the house and attacks them. They actually take out that Ghostface. So that Ghostface turns out to be some random dude that she saw once, I think, in her shop, but didn't know him. And it's like, okay, what's going on with that? So they do an investigation on that guy. They go to talk to somebody at this psychiatric hospital he was at. I guess he killed some people or something. And they show the guy working there. They show him a picture of Stu Macher to be like, "Hey, was this guy here? Does he have connections with this other guy?" And he's like, "Yeah, that's John Doe. That's John Doe from he was in this room, and yeah, they were close and things like that." And I was like, "Okay, so you just made this super predictable because if Stu Macher's not actually alive and that's not true, then this guy has to be one of the Ghostface because why would he lie?" so so that was predictable, and of course, he turns out to be one of the Ghostface. So we have the whole thing where they're in like this bar, and the other teens or whatever you're supposed to suspect them, or the boyfriend, the other guy, they end up getting killed. I mean, the boyfriend and this other dude, they are so dumb. They make some really dumb decisions. Like the boyfriend, he had a he had his laptop. They went to the car, the daughter and the boyfriend, and he has his laptop in there, and it has him acting out what Stu Macher was doing just on a green screen. So it makes it look like he's the one making it. So she obviously thinks it's him and hits him with the laptop and runs off. Turns out he's not one of the killers. I was like, okay, well, you could have explained that to her beforehand, or at least not had it there for her to find in the in your car. It's just it's dumb. And then you have the other guy. He was this other kid. He's he's really into true crime. He wants to start his own true crime podcast, stuff like that. But he ends up getting killed, and he probably makes the dumbest mistake in this because even though he's really obsessed with the stab movies and stuff like that, somebody comes out of someplace and says the killer's in there, and you go, "Oh, I'll take care of it," and you go out there, like that's like Scream 101 or even Stab 101. How does he not know about that? But whatever. And of course, he comes back out and he's stabbed in the stomach. It was such a dumb mistake. I was like, well, maybe he's the killer, and there's a twist on this, and he didn't actually get stabbed. But no, he's not the killer. He actually is just that dumb. And then even after the Ghostface kills the girl he's into, they kind of have a thing. She's barely a character. She's one of the daughter's friends. After Ghostface kills her, he starts moving and starts, crawling, right? Because he's still alive. It's like, just stay there and pretend to be dead, and Ghostface will just leave. I was like, right before that, Ghostface just cut the twins, and so the twins are going to be okay because, of course, they are because they have to keep doing the same thing every movie. We still got to keep them alive. But I was like, man, why did you start moving? Why'd you go back there? And now he's going to get viciously killed, even worse. It's like, man, that was dumb. So all this happens. The daughter's running for her life down, the street, completely abandoned. The boyfriend gets killed and all that. And two Ghostface pop up and grab the daughter. And so they lead Sydney to I believe was her house, but it was a house. I think it was her house. And you see different screens and the killers pretending to be different killers from the past movies, like Billy Loomis's mom pops up. The secret brother villain from Scream 3 pops up. And then the killer pretends to be Dewey. It's like, I died for you, Sydney. It's like, that doesn't even make sense because he died when Sydney wasn't even the lead character. Sydney had to like get called. He called her to pop up in that movie. That doesn't even make sense in the movie he died in. And it's just like they write this shit like they're like, look, these people will eat this shit up. Don't even worry about it. But after that, she goes out there and the two ghost face, one of which is the guy from that psychiatric hospital or whatever from earlier. And the daughter's tied up. And we get the reveal of who the other ghost face is. So it's actually this lady that's been talking to Sidney Prescott throughout the movie. She's the mom of the the boy that's really into true crime and all that. So she either killed her own son or is okay with the other one killing her own son. It's like, okay, well, whatever. And conveniently, right before she takes off her mask, you can tell that it's a woman. I was like, okay, that's a woman. Like before the mask even comes off, it's like, okay, so somebody else was in the mask, was in the costume, and not this actress. So you could throw the audience off. It's so obvious. But I was like, okay, it's this woman. I was like, okay, this reveal is lame with who the people are, but like, let's hear what it's about. So this lady, she is doing all this because she she was married to her husband. Her husband was abusive. She read Sidney Prescott's book and she was inspired because Sidney Prescott takes out the villain. And so she's like, oh, I'm going to do that. So she kills her husband and gets away with it. Don't question it. We're not going to go into detail. And she's okay with her son dying because he was turning out like her husband. I don't fucking cares. Um, but it's like, okay, that sounds good though, right? Or at least to you. So why are you attacking her and her family? Because Sydney left. She left. It's like she left. And so now she's trying to turn the daughter into the new final girl. Like she's like, oh, I'm gonna kill Sydney in front of the daughter so the daughter can become the new final girl. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. I was confused. I was like, are you talking about Sydney leaving as in she wasn't in the last movie? Because they have lines about that throughout the movie where people are like, oh, you didn't, you sat the last one out. And it's like, they might as well have said in the dialogue, like, hey, they didn't pay enough money, or they didn't pay Neve Campbell enough money, or something like that. I think that was the reason. And just like really most of these movies, it's like, okay, if this was your plan the whole time to kill her in front of her daughter, so her daughter could become the final girl and take her place, why have you been trying to kill the daughter all movie long? It's like it doesn't even make sense. I'm done, man. I don't know how you can defend this at this point, right? Weak character, shitty reveal, we're forcing conflicts just to have a story, bad writing, bad dialogue. Wait some years, reboot it, like actually reboot it, new characters, new everything. But Scream as it is, it's over. It's done. It's been done. It's been done. It's forced. So that's it, man. I didn't think these movies could get worse. This is the worst one, man. I'm giving it complete shit. I didn't think I'd ever give a Scream movie my bottom rating, man. Honestly, other than the kills and the gore, that's it. I mean, and it's not worth sitting through this really terrible story. It's it's really not. Complete shit. That's Scream 7. Subscribe. We're done.